Good morning, everyone. Walter Park's the road. It's tricky trying to get all the technology of this down so that we can be together. I'm not always going to be in my studio on a Sunday morning, and so we're trying to figure a way to stay connected, and it's extremely frustrating. But I think in the end, we're going to figure it out. Anyway, I'm headed towards Wheeling, West Virginia. I'm not going to tell you which state I'm in because I'm not even sure if it's legal for me to be talking to you this way. My hands are not free because they're on the steering wheel. Nonetheless, it's not only am I coming up on Wheeling, West Virginia, which is one of my favorite towns on the road. We're coming up on Thanksgiving, and there are what I'm thankful for when I drive along these highways is I'm thankful for the people who built these highways. In some cases, you think that guys in hard hats and orange safety jackets were out here maybe working at night or working during the day when one of the lanes is blocked off. But before every highway was built, well, most highways in the United States and probably all over the world started as old. They were built upon what started as Native American trails. Of course, that doesn't apply if you're talking about Romania or something. Just let me talk about the US for a second. So a lot of these roads between cities, for instance, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, or Columbus and Wheeling, I'm not going to tell you exactly where I am. These paths, original paths, were Native American roads or paths. Some have been changed to make them more, to make them more direct. Mountains have been plowed through, land has been filled. But years ago, before there was an interstate system, a lot of the folks who built these roads were forced laborers. I mean, they were convicts, and so as you might guess, if a state sold or leased their convicts out to private road builders, there was a tremendous incentive to keep men incarcerated and so on. I don't want to get dark, but I'm just trying to drive home the point that wherever there's some sort of a comfort or a good life, if you will, it was done on the backs of somebody else. And maybe that's just the way humanity is, but there's certainly a lot of music to be made around that subject matter. And what we're trying to do today is, Margot's in St. Louis as I'm driving around the country, and Margot's going to play some videos. I'm not going to play for you because I'm driving. Margot's going to play some videos that are appropriate to maybe what I'm talking about or whatever. She's got a bunch of videos queued up. So Margot, let's play the video Shoulder It. And this is a song about just that, the building of this country on other people's backs and the gratitude that we owe them. Shoulder it.
I know I hurt you such a long way back. Some people keep pushing on that. You can't board the mercy train because you laid the track when you shouldered it. When you shouldered it, when you shouldered it, yeah, you shouldered it. Everybody knows we need a change of heart. What's it gonna take to open our eyes before we push the load across the pressure line? We better shoulder it. We gotta shoulder it. Everybody shoulder it. Oh, we shall overcome. Does that mean me and you? Everybody needs somebody to blame. So we go and load our guns, but does the freedom to give us the reason to? Who am I to say who is down and out until I've had to live a life like that? And who am I to tell you to get over it until I've shouldered it? I gotta shoulder it until I've shouldered it. Oh, I gotta shoulder it. Everybody shoulder it. People gotta shoulder it. Oh, we gotta shoulder it. Everybody gotta shoulder it.
Yeah, thanks. That was thanks to Margo for playing that. Let me get this thing going. I don't know if I'm back on the air. I'm just gonna start talking. That was a song called "Shoulder It" from my group, The Unlawful Assembly, and it seems like in the modern age, if you're trying to do anything that connects with people, things are getting more and more complicated, not easier. And that's just the way it is. I almost feel like the key to happiness these days is just accepting that everything is going to be a pain in the butt. And if you accept that, and everybody and everything is just going to be a pain. I mean, that sounds dark, but I'm doing better, I mean, I'm doing better just accepting that, okay, I can't complain about these things. I can't complain about carrying a mask around, about credit cards, about having to talk to people through Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, regular phones, whatever. There's a million ways. it sounds like I'm bitching, but I'm really not. I'm just saying this is a wonderful time where we just have to figure out a way to deal with these things. Anyway, I'm pulling into one of my favorite cities on the road, and it's Wheeling, West Virginia, and it's up in what they call the peninsula of West Virginia, and I'm gonna pull off and show you some things in Wheeling. Got up real early so that I would hit Wheeling during the middle of this broadcast, and it looks like I've timed it well. I like Wheeling because it's there are vestiges everywhere of the good life, and the good life in this area of the country was no doubt steel and all of that sort of thing. I'm sure the coal industry. Well, I can't get off here. Very interesting. Well, you're gonna see me do some improvising on the road here. So I'm gonna let's see how I do. I'm going through a tunnel now. Might lose you. I love tunnels. Can't change lanes in a tunnel. That would be illegal.
Well, if we lose you, I will show another video.
Okay, I'm coming out of the tunnel. Okay, because I am live and driving, I'm just going to improvise and see if I can get to downtown Wheeling using my experience. I'm probably going to fail, but anyway, so Wheeling is a little bit of a sad town in one sense, in that there's a grandeur, you know, in a certain way. It reminds me of being in Havana, Cuba. The politics and all of that aside, I'm going to take 16th Street because my destination is on 14th Street, but I have to cross a mountain, a small mountain, under which we just drove through the tunnel, via the tunnel. So let's see how I do. I'm headed in the correct direction. Oh, I've never done this before. This is the back way into downtown Wheeling. Very interesting. So there are a lot of old buildings, wooden frame buildings, masonry buildings. A lot of them are boarded up. They show evidence of the grandeur of days gone by. I know exactly where I am, and this is such a cool way to get here. But I'll take you around and show you some places that I've found on the road. This is not Manhattan, so I probably can take a right on red light. I'm going to pull over and show you one of my favorite color schemes here. I'm now stopped. So, and by the way, you guys just don't bore me with any comments about how unsafe this is. There's once I get driving, the camera is stationary, and it's just like me talking to a passenger in the car. There's no difference. As a matter of fact, I hardly look at you, but look at the color scheme of this building. It's like this ochre, gold, and green mixed with gray, and there's a little white. I'm gonna show you this building if you can see it. Hopefully you can. Can y'all see that? Marga, maybe you could let me know if they could see that.
Yes.
Well, good. I use a lot of these color schemes that I find in old towns like Wheeling and so on, in in some of the furniture restoration and repair that I do back home. Wow. It's so sad in a way being here, but also there's hope as well. Now I'm fishing around a little bit, trying to figure out, get my bearings. I imagine the homes can be obtained for a fairly good price, comparable to something like New York City. Oh my gosh, look at this one. This, talk about grandeur. This is an attorney's building presently. Let me pull up so where the sun's not going to be backlighting this. Look at this. Okay, here we go again. Look at those columns. Look at that brick. And look at the woodwork, the cornices. Somebody had to carve those out of wood and plaster. Just magnificent. Now, oh boy. Okay, let me get the stick. So what I do is I put the camera, clip the camera in, and then I start driving. Some of you may think, oh, well, those columns, those are emblematic of slavery days and the fantasy of plantation. Okay, maybe, but we are in the northern part of the country, so I don't know if, I'm sure slavery at one point was an issue around here, but at the very least, I'm hoping that you can appreciate the architecture and the craftsmanship from an earlier day. I certainly do. I'm headed to a place that at which I always stop. And it is a European restaurant, deli kind of place that has fine wines and everything else. I want to show you a picture of the entrance to it. It looks like my car is now stopped. It looks like we're in Athens, Georgia. They have 2 bulldogs next to a red carpet. So this is another reason why I probably feel good about being here, because I used to go to the University of Georgia. All right, so take a look at this. Can you guys see that entrance? It's a little absurd. I just love those silver bulldogs. Anyway, that's a place called the Good Mansion, and we're going to go in there and I'm going to get some espresso, as good as you can find anywhere. Italy, New York. They have great wine. They have prosciutto. They have fantastic cheeses. They have homemade pasta. So if you are ever on I-70 between New York and, say, St. Louis, you have to go to this oasis called the Good Mansion Wines. And anyway, while I'm parking the car, I want Margot to cue up a track that I'm very proud of. And it is emblematic or celebratory of the good life. And it is my version of a James Bond song called Casino Royale, or You Know My Name, which was written by Chris Cornell for the James Bond recent remake called Casino Royale. Now the car's stopped and I've got a parallel park, and when Margot gets this queued up, I'll see you inside. Hey there. Walter Parks here. I'm at the Good Mansion Wines in Wheeling, West Virginia. I know this is bizarre, but I just want to show you one of the joys of the road for me. And just check this place out. This is, I mean, you would think we were in New York City or somewhere, or maybe Italy. Check it out. Look at these. Look at these pastries. I mean, we're in Wheeling, West Virginia. Look at. I don't want to show any customers, but look at this. Fantastic. They even have Eiffel Towers. This is sexy bon, n'est-ce pas? Okay. Anyway, I've got to get out of here and pay. But if you're ever on the road on I-70, look at these cheeses. Do you all like cheese? Look at this. This is the good life. This is James Bond.
Walter,
I mean, yes.
Steve says Casino Royale, the teleplay, was actually the first Bond story televised in 1954. Then the later version was brought to film.
Okay. Okay. I won't remember that. Maybe you can. Somebody tells me that the first teleplay was in 1954 and then later brought to film. I'm going to try to pay now. Est-ce que je dois parler en anglais ou français? English. Okay, English. Anyway, I have a double espresso. I have a pain au chocolat and I have a water. Walter, as they say in England. Anyway, I'm at the Good Mansion Wines. Just look at this store. Look again. This is an oasis. An oasis. You wouldn't expect to find this in Wheeling, West Virginia, but if you're on I-70, you just have to look this place up. Are we ready to go? And they gave me permission to film here, and they asked me very nicely if I didn't, would not have the customers in the, but there's lots of customers here, so I'm kind of trying to stay out of their way. But anyway, it's Walter Parks, and this is one of the places that I play. I've tried playing. I mean, this is one of the places that I stop when I'm playing between Columbus and New York City and so on. But I've tried playing here, and it's just, I've never been able to sort of build up an audience here. But I'm going to keep trying. Please wait. Canceled. Remove card. Okay, that's a wonderful thing to have happen right on live TV. Let's try it with another card if we can. I'm going to try it with another card.
You want to hit the green button at the bottom.
Oh, the green button. Okay. There. You've got to see this. Speaking of James Bond and the Good Life, I'm going to show you some chocolate pears. It doesn't get any better than that, actually. So the Good Life is remove card. Wonderful. Thank you very much. So we're all set. Okay. There's a vestige of another Good Life here in Wheeling. It's right around the corner, and I can't wait to show it to you. It's a grand building that I've done photo sessions in front of. I'm trying to get all my things here, and I don't have enough hands. It's okay. I'll figure it. Oh, she's giving me a bag. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Thanks so much. Okay. All right. I gotta sneak out of here. Look at this. Look at this staircase. All these wines. I mean, I know I kind of look like a look like a redneck, but I do appreciate all this intercontinental stuff. I'm just in heaven. This is amazing. Anyway. Now we're going to go down the red carpet. You ready? I want to tell you a funny story about the red carpet. All right, so I'm walking down the red carpet. I'm at an event. I can remember, must have been 10 years ago. I was playing with Richie Havens, and we were in Louisville, Kentucky for the opening of the Muhammad Ali Center. And then Richie was in a coat and tie. I think I might've been in a tuxedo. And because I was Richie's sideman, and because Richie was asked to walk down the red carpet, and because Richie being Richie, he didn't want to do it by himself. So he asked me to walk down the red carpet with him. Truly one of the most absurd, happenings in my life. I got to show you once again these crazy bulldogs. I just love that. Anyway, all right. So the story. Okay, so we're on the red carpet. I'm walking down the red carpet. There's everybody's. James Taylor is out to my left. Who else? Bill Clinton was there. Jim Curry. All these stars and so on. And when I was walking down the red carpet, all I could hear is people were going, that's Richie Havens. That's Richie Havens. And sadly for me, the comment was, who's that guy? Who's that? Who's that? I just got a bunch of who's that. And I had to just be satisfied with who's that. And that's okay. I'm sorry, but until I get situated here, you're just going to have to see me deal this way. So I've never done this live before. I'm trying to keep it dignified, but anyway, so that was my big moment of walking down the red carpet, and all I kept hearing were these whispers of, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? And so I hope you're having a good morning. This is Walter Parks sneaking into frame. What a great looking dog. He looks like part coyote or something over there. I'm not going to show you. Anyway, a little ways away, I'm going to show you one more site. One of my favorite sites. Let me put the camera in its clip here. Are you guys enjoying this interaction? I know it's a little bit awkward, but I'm just trying to road test this because I envision being on the road about half of the Sundays in the year coming up, because I'm very, very busy with Stephen Williams with the Unlawful Assembly, the band that recorded Shoulder It, which you heard earlier. I'm very busy with my partner, Rob Curto. And we just, we're going to be touring a lot. But I really want to show you this building. Okay. So again, my friend Arvid Smith in Florida reminds me, anytime I talk about the grandeur of days gone past, he reminds me of the ugliness of the robber barons, and basically that so many people got ripped off and exploited during those times in order to make the wealth that was generated to build these cities. You know, he kind of equalizes me in a sense, but you know, and I love Arvid for that, but I'm just, for the time being, it's okay to just appreciate craftsmanship from an older day. But oh my gosh, you got to see this. I'm just shaking at the faded glory and grandeur of what's in front of me here. So let me have a sip of coffee so I can get through this. I'm not sure what this building is. The car is now in park. And I'm just going to go over and talk to you a little bit about this place. I don't know what this is, but what you're going to see is a huge, actually, this is an old church. I see it now. I've been driving by this for a long time and never noticed it was a church. I thought it was maybe a Masonic hall or something. Okay, park and brake on. I'm just going to leave the car here. Okay, look at this place. Should leave it unlocked. Okay, look at this place. Okay. What I love about this, I love light blue and white. I love the color combination, but just, I mean, look, the stairs. Of course, this is not an original stair access, but it's probably not even safe for me to be walking up here, but I don't care. I won't, I'm around construction all the time. I grew up in it. My dad was an architect. And I get so many color ideas, and I'm so inspired by the way nature takes her toll on the edify of man, if you will. Look at the way that paint is peeling. Look at the colors. I mean, what I love about this is there's not just one color here. And this is what I try to do in my music. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in a second. But if you're putting atmosphere behind a music track, if it's a singer-songwriter, or if it's just an instrumental piece of music that somebody's going to dance ballet to, you have to be mindful of nature's effect on what we try to perfect. And you know, underneath this is mortar that was made out of sand and limestone and other sorts of things. Then there's a layer of white primer, and then there's blue, and then there's another blue, and then the sun has bleached it all out. And then it starts to peel, and around the edges of the peeling is a darker tone, and the lighter tones in the middle. It's just fascinating. I just get in real close and see those cracks. That's a patina that's not unlike the cracks in my face. But look at the ceiling. Now that's an old tin or copper ceiling, been painted over 1,000 times, probably hundreds of times. I would love to play inside this building. I bet it's just wonderful to be in there, even though it's probably very shabby. And here's you see that right there on the floor. You know what that means? That means there's something above you that you got to be careful about. There's an old light up there. See it? So that's an old pigeon's nest, and that's the ensuing poop. So here's of course, this is not original. This is what do they call it? Anyway, it's a wheelchair ramp. I don't know what the modern word for people who need wheelchairs is, but mobility impaired. So anyway, we're walking back down the probably totally unsafe wooden stairs. I hope they renovate this someday, but I would love to play in this building. It always, I find it humorous when I'm asked to play in a sort of a cavernous space. I played in St. Louis the other night for a private party, and it was all brick and metal, and people said, "Oh, it's very boomy in here," and I just loved it. And it wasn't boomy at all; it was just echoey. Anyway, look, you guys can Google this if you want. This is St. Matthew's Church, erected in AD. I'm trying to do the Roman numerals. I can't do that. There's 3 X's and a 6 after an MDCC. MD, 3 C's, 3 X's, and VI. So somebody tell me when that was erected. I'm guessing late 1800s, but I'm so sorry I can't translate Latin for you all this morning. I think I'm going to hit the road. But that was the last song was my version of Chris Cornell's "You Know My Name," and I love playing those instrumentals. It's one of my passions to take Hollywood music or soundtrack music and translate them to the guitar. I'm going to be translating some holiday, not Hollywood music, coming up December 29th. December 24th. I'm doing a show. It's not really a show. I'm the music for a service, and I never do this, but I was asked by the UCC Church in St. Louis and Webster Groves to play holiday music and so on. And I'm playing old carols and arranging them for electric guitar, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've been working on this project for years now, and I've finally got enough traditional Christmas music to record an album. So I'm hoping to do that in December. But something else I wanted to say, I am doing a public concert December 15th at the Blue Strawberry in St. Louis with Jody Redditch on cello. And as you all know, I've got much experience playing with cellist. I played for years with Stephanie Winters in the group The Nudes. Anyway, let's get back to music. I can't play any music for you on this trip. Oh, uh, Steve sent a link to St. Matthew's Church. I posted a link about St. Matthew's Church in Wheeling, and yeah, I'd love to know some history about it. 1837. Oh, okay. So there's the three X's, and it says VI, which is 36. But, well, maybe something, maybe, maybe one of the eyes fell off. Some other things fell off. Where was I? I think we should play a video. So what we're doing, and this may be the format, Margot's in Command Central in St. Louis, and I asked her to queue up a track, and she does. And I'm thinking that, what Wheeling reminds me of, and let me just get rolling here. Put the phone in my clip where I'm safe, and I'm never hands-free though, because I've got my hands on the steering wheel. Oh, you guys are going to be so bored with all this, but I feel a little bit like that guy Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins, who travels around with all those, or whatever his name is, James Corgan, who travels around with those Hollywood people, but I've only got myself here. Seatbelt, boring. Yeah, hold on. I'm stopped. Anyway, I was hoping to find one more building to set this next song up. I'm just going to drive around till I find an anonymous, random example of the glory of a former day. Oh, I know where I want to take you. Hold on, just stay with me. Oh, it's straight ahead. This is it's an old bank building. Go ahead. It's an old bank building. And, the way banks used to look, you just want to put your money in there, That's the problem with banks. They're boring looking. You don't want to go to them anymore. But check this bank building out that I'm going to stop and show you in just a second. And for years, it was for sale. It might be back for sale again. Hold on, got one more block. Anyway, Margot, if you could cue up I Love Paris. And don't start it yet. I'm at a red light and I'm a block away. I want to show everybody this bank building, because the reason I want to show this and set up I Love Paris with it is because this architecture, albeit it's very exemplary of a United States style, it is very European inspired. You will see Nice, France. You will see the Italian Riviera in this style, and vestiges of European design. But yet here we are in Wheeling, West Virginia. Oh my gosh, this building is just so glorious. Okay, now my car is in park. Just bear with me. I'm practically shaking every time I see this building. Chocolate croissant away. You guys are probably, people are going to say, oh, you just revel in all of this European colonial crap. All I'm trying to do is just say, look, let's admire the craftsmanship. These people didn't have to make these buildings with this degree of grandeur and glory. I'm not going to show it to you. So there's going to be a big reveal in just a second. Hold on. I mean, oh my gosh. It looks like it's adorned, like the outside of it is in porcelain or something. Okay, you ready for this? But first of all, this is like an apocalypse. Look at the street. I'm in the middle of a street. There's nobody here. What the hell's going on? What is this? Okay, look at this. I'm still in the middle of the street. I'm getting away with it. Look at this building. Look at that. I mean, wouldn't you like to have that in the front of your house? And that's wood underneath. That's just that's like tongue and groove, the same type of stuff they use on flooring. That's underneath this grand awning. Look at this. This is tile. In a certain way, I feel like I'm in Havana, Cuba, because these buildings are just kind of run down. It looks like they had a radio station here at one point. On one of the ornate shields, it says KLOS. I don't know. Kloss? I mean, they don't do K's here for radio stations. Kloss, what is Kloss? It's not, if it was Crest, I'd know that was but look at this. As I walk away, just look at that building behind us. And I want to show you one more thing that I love. I'm freezing. So it's worth it. It's worth it. I love how in the old days they would commit to painting the outside of a building. Just paint the damn brick and put a sign on it. Look at this. Look at that. What does it say? What does it say there? It says 3-hour service. It's a shirt. It's a dry cleaners or something like that. Lane B. Look at that. Lane B. One way. Lane B. So there's a cop that just drove by. He's looking at me. God forbid I actually be walking on the street. These buildings are they're marvelous. And thankfully, they've not torn a lot of these old buildings down. Wheeling, West Virginia. I hope he comes back. I have a good friend in Jersey City who's also from Jacksonville, Florida, as I am. Her name is Natalie Min, and she's a realtor, and she appreciates Wheeling like I do. But I have heard that it's one of these towns that is a little bit hesitant to accept change, and they make it a little hard for businesses to get started here. So once they get some of the old guard out of there, I think this place is going to really snap. So so now we can celebrate fine European artistic craftsmanship and how it influenced American architecture. Why not the song I Love Paris?
In the springtime, I love Paris in the fall. I love Paris in the winter when it drizzles. I love Paris in the summer when it sizzles. Every moment, every moment of the year, I
Hmm. I had a lot of fun recording that. I did that with Craig Aiken in Jersey City, Union City, actually, at Kaleidoscope Sound. And Kyle Castle on drums. And I was getting ready to leave town, folks. I'm Walter Parks. This is Hymns and Hollers. I've done neither today. I've neither hymned nor hollered, but to me, there's a spiritual aspect to sometimes you just have to appreciate and give thanks to what you have, and that's church enough. And you just won't believe what I'm in front of here. And I was gonna leave town, and then I looked off to my left and I saw this. I'm not gonna tell you what it is quite yet. Just bear with me. I've got to find a place to park, and I'm gonna blow your minds with this. First of all, dude, just somebody look up for me if you could. I'm parked totally illegal here. Just for a second. I think I might fall through some construction hole, but okay, my car is parked. So my hazards are on. I thank God it's Sunday that I get away with all this guerrilla stuff I'm doing. Okay, make sure I've got everything. My keys are in the car and the ignition's on. And look, if somebody steals a car, we still have each other, right? Okay. We're on the old National Road, which is Highway 40. I don't know where it originates in the east, probably Baltimore or something. I'll bet you 40. Somebody tell me. But 40 travels the route of 64 in some states. But okay, you ready for the big reveal? Let me see. Yeah, I can't walk across this thing because my car is parked, but I'm going to take a chance here. Just I'm not going to walk across it. I'm in the middle of the access to one of the grandest bridges you'll ever see. And there's a person walking across the bridge, and I don't want to flip the camera around until he's gone. So we'll check this out. Okay, ready? Okay, here we go. Whoa! Woo-hoo! This is an old suspension bridge on Highway 40, not US 40, not Interstate 40. It's old Highway 40. This is called the National, what do they call this? National Road, I think. National, the National Road. This is built in 1849, and there's some connection with this the architect of this bridge was named Charles Ellett, and at the time they were kind of in an artistic competition with Robley, who built the Brooklyn Bridge. It's a suspension bridge, and we may get left here completely, you and I, because my car is parked in a construction area and it's running. But I just wanted to show you this. Look, you can see down through the grates. I'm not going to walk across it anymore, but this is just amazing. And see the cables? It's not fit for traffic anymore, but they'll let people walk across it. I'm freezing. I gotta get back in the car, but this is the Old Trails Road, marked in 1921 by the Whaling Daughters of the American Revolution. How can you be a daughter of a revolution? Whaling Suspicion. This is one of the National Historic Civil Engineering landmarks, built in 1849, before the Civil War. You ever think about that? The guys who chiseled these rocks and put them in place and anchored these cables, they're gone. and we are left to appreciate or tear down their work. And that's what I'm trying to do today, which to me is enough church for a Sunday. Look at these cables. Imagine if these were snapped. I would be dead in 2 seconds. Look at this. This is where they anchor. Fascinating. Woo! Now look up. I kind of like this stuff, this selfie thing that the Japanese do. Look at this braided wire. This is old wire. And let's talk about the philosophy of this. This is not one piece of thick wire. It's a little piece of wire that's braided with another little piece of wire that then makes a bigger piece of wire. And then that bigger piece of wire is braided together with all the others. And if that doesn't tell you something about how to build great things and get things done in this world, you start with what you got and you braid it to something else that you got. And I'm freezing, but look at this old theater here. Oh my God, this is a crazy episode. I apologize for being so unslick, but look at this. Oh, this is Capitol Theater. I would love to play in there. In the meantime, I'm just standing out in front of it, freezing. So let me get back in this car. Whew. Okay. I think I'm gonna leave you with this song. I am really deep into my new project. It's just a little thing that I do on my own when I have a little time off the road. I'm recording songs that I've heard so many times, and you've heard me talk about it before. It's a project called Songs I'm Sick Of, and it's been a real I don't know if the Buddhists would approach things like this, but if you have a frustration about something, you just kind of dive into it and just roll up your sleeves and get to know it on a deeper level. And that's what I've done with some of these songs. So this is a song. I'm going to leave you with this one. Let's see, what do we need to, please, if you're in the Midwest, in the middle of December, and you have nothing else to do, or actually, I don't mean it that way. Like this is going to be a really special show. If you find yourself in Chicago or that area, Chicago's only 5 hours from St. Louis. Come down December 15th and see me at the Blue Strawberry. I'm going to be performing with Jody Redditch. I'll be doing some of my electric guitar arrangements of Christmas tunes, of course, my swampy stuff, my hollers, my hymns, and Jody's going to bring some stuff to the table as well. I've got a new record out. My car's still parked, so again, please don't talk to me about how unsafe I'm being. Oh, it's called Walter Parks and the Unlawful Assembly. I hope you can pick up a copy. And also I have a record called Cathedral, and that's just me playing solo guitar in a cathedral in Jersey City. Margot can maybe put up links to that. The Unlawful Assembly is a project that I've done with Stephen Williams, wherein I've rearranged spirituals, work songs. I'm probably safe in saying that maybe some of the guys, maybe a lot of the guys who built that bridge that I was just on, they might have been somewhat unfairly employed, if you will, to work on that project. Now I have no basis other than that I know that went on at that time, and maybe I'm completely wrong. Regardless, it's safe to say that there was some degree of human exploitation and unfairness involved. And that's just the nature of things. I am not trying to down this country or and that's not where I'm coming from. I'm just saying that that's the history, and that's just I don't I don't just leave it at that. It's when you see a great work, you have to know that there's that dark story behind it as well, and it's all part of it. I'm not saying that it's great or it's even acceptable, but there's a sadness here in Wheeling. There's a lot of folks walking around who are down and out. Um, there's a lot of boarded up buildings on Main Street, which is where I am now, on Market Street or something like that. But there's so much there's so much hope here, and I just it's my wish that this place could turn around some way. I don't whatever. Doesn't matter what I think really, but that's what I'm trying to do with great guitars, old guitars, and old songs, is give them new life. You can listen to a song like Wade in the Water or Amazing Grace and say, oh boy, here we are playing this song again. But if you do it in a unique way, and I'm saying I'm trying to inspire you to perform or undertake your own art in a way that gives new life to it. That's what I've tried to do with the Unlawful Assembly. It seems that that's what they're trying to do here with Wheeling in some of these buildings, is to give them new life instead of just tearing them down. They're working with what's here. Let's see what happens. So the song that I'd love for you to cue up, Margot, is Happy Together, if you wouldn't mind. And this is one of the songs that I was sick of for years. And I kind of fell in love with it once I did my own arrangement of it. I'll see you next week. I'm still going to be on the road. Happy Together.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the one I love and hold her tight. So happy together. If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, it ease my mind. Imagine how the world could be so very fine, happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're near me, darling, the skies all my life. Me and you and me, no matter how they tossed the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. Darling, the skies will be blue for all my life. I can't see me loving nobody but you darling, the skies will be blue for all our life. Happy together, happy together, happy together. How is the weather? Happy together, happy together, happy together, happy together, happy together.